So Club Brugge are the second most successful side in Belgian football, winning a whopping 18 league titles. However, their last 2 seasons in the Pro League have been very disappointing, only managing a 4th place finish last season, missing out on Champions League football. And at the time of recording, Club Brugge currently sit 3rd in the Pro League, a whopping 12 points off tabletop and Union Saint-Gilloise. It's safe to say that times are definitely tough at Club Brugge. We're going to be taking charge of Club Brugge, reinstating them as Belgium's dominant side, and we are going to win them a European trophy in the form of the Champions League. So let's jump into FC24 and get this Club Brugge rebuild on the way. So this is the Club Brugge team we've ordered into, and honestly, it's actually pretty good. We've got some brilliant players at the club like Skov Olsen in right midfield, Vanaken in centre midfield, and Mignolet in goal. Now, the formation we've decided to go with is a 4-2-3-1, and I think that is the formation that suits our players the best. Now, if we look at the squad, we've got a lot of players at the club who are actually under 20 years old, and a lot who are under 25, so there's a lot of room to develop these players that we have. We've also got 2 excellent young fullbacks in Bjorn Meyer and Maxime Cooper, who's already grown to 75 rated, so this team is actually really decent on paper. Now, given the fact we've got good fullbacks and good wingers, I'm going to go over wing player tactical vision because I feel this is how we get the best out of this squad. Now, if you are new around here, we always disable the first summer transfer window, so we are stuck with this team until January the 1st at least. When we do get to January, lads, I'd like to bring in a new forward player to replace Veltsen, but this is purely because we don't actually have an out-and-out centre attacking midfielder at the club. And when we do arrive in January, we'll have 29 million euros to spend. Now, in season 1, we're actually in the Conference League, and we've got Bodo Glimt, Besiktas, and FC Lugano, so a pretty difficult group, and I'm really hoping we can actually get through it. So we've covered the formation, the starting 11, the tactical vision, and the finances. It's now time to simulate forward to January the 1st and see how Club Brugge are getting on in season 1. So we've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and things are going excellently in the league. We're currently top of the league, 2 points clear of 2nd place Antwerp, and a whopping 12 points clear of 3rd place Anderlecht. So it's safe to say league football probably won't be an issue in this rebuild. It's all about competing in Europe. And speaking of Europe, we're easily topped our Conference League group, lads, on 16 points, not even losing a single game. And I can't lie, I'd really like to win the Conference League this season. I don't actually think we've won it yet on FC24. So in this transfer window, we're definitely in the market for a centre attacking midfielder. I'm also thinking about bringing in a left winger to replace Nusa, and I might send him out on loan. And I also want to bring in a goalkeeper to replace Simon Mignolet, as he's 78 rated and 35-year-old. He's only going to get worse. And I'd like to bring in a young, high-potential goalkeeper to take his place. So as we've already discussed, the primary target of this January transfer window is to bring a centre attacking midfielder to Club Brugge, and we've identified Sem Stienge from FC20, a 75-rated 22-year-old centre attacking midfielder, and it's only going to cost us between 12 and 9 million euros, so we can definitely make the deal happen. And for 11.5 million euros, we have brought Sem Stienge to Club Brugge. The next position that I want to improve is the goalkeeper position, as Simon Mignolet is massively aging, and we have identified Julen Aguirre-Zabala from Atletico Bilbao. 74 rated 23-year-old, extremely well rounded, and it's only going to cost us between 8 and 6 million euros, so we can definitely make this deal happen. And for 8.1 million euros, we have brought Julen Aguirre-Zabala to Club Brugge. Now, after the signings of Aguirre-Zabala and Steam, we're left with 11 million euros, and I really do want to bring in a left winger. And we have identified Kamaldeen Sulmana from Southampton as our primary left wing target. He's 21-year-old, 75 rated, really good stats, and he is going to cost us though between 17 and 13.6 million euros, so I've got an idea. I'm going to offer up Zinchenko as part of the deal, and hopefully Southampton accept it. And for 7 million euros plus Zinchenko, we have brought Sulmana to Club Brugge. Now, after the signing of Sulmana, we're left with 4 million euros, meaning our transfer window is officially finished. However, there were some outgoings along the way, and I'm going to run you through them right now. Sion Homer joined Al Fayed for 1.5 million euros. Nick Shinton also left the club, joining Sporting KC for 1.5 million euros. Youngster Chemsteen Talby joined West Brom on loan for the season. And young centre-back Joel Ordonez joined OGC Nice on loan for the season. And young striker Victor Barbera also left the club on loan, this time joining Empoli. And finally, Simon Mignolet left the club for Stade de Rennes for 3.4 million euros. Bringing a close to our transfer window, we're now simulating forward to the end of the season, and let's see how Club Brugge got on in season 1. We've arrived at the end of season 1, and it's very nice to see that we've finished top of the Belgian Pro League on 65 points, 1 point clear of Royal Antwerp. We then progressed on to the Championship round, where we pipped Royal Antwerp to the title by 1 point again, meaning we were the overall winners of the Pro League, securing our first bit of silverware of the rebuild. And we made it a domestic double, lads, beating Antwerp 3-1 in the Croquet Cup final, meaning we have done a domestic double in season 1, and that's something that I do actually expect to see over this rebuild. I think we are going to have comfortably the best squad in Belgium, so I'm hoping to see plenty of league titles and Croquet Cups. And we managed to make it all the way through to the Conference League final, where we were narrowly beaten by Fiorentina 3-2. We were so close to winning a treble in Season 1, and I think that would be the first time that we've ever won the Conference League in one of these rebuilds, but it wasn't to be, and thankfully we are back in the Champions League next season. So looking at the squad, it's easy to see why we dominated Belgian football this season, with players like Skov Olsen going to 83 rated, Onyedinka had a great season going to 79 as well, De Kuiper and Maiju had really good seasons going to 78 and 77. So all in all, the team is looking really strong on paper, and I think with a few more quality additions we can actually have a good account of ourselves in the Champions League. And it's safe to say that goals were not an issue for us this season. Igor Thiago chipped in with 38 goals across 3 competitions, with Hans Vanaken, a central midfield player, getting 35 goals from centre midfield. That is Lampard-esque. Skov Olsen also had a great season, getting 23 goals and 13 assists. Usually at this stage of a rebuild, we're struggling for goals. Clearly not with Club Brugge, so goals are definitely not an issue. So given the fact our forward players are scoring so many goals, maybe we'll look to improving the defence next season. We've arrived in Season 2 and we've got 36 million euros to improve our squad. And we are going to use that money to reinforce our back line by bringing in a new centre-back. And I'm thinking, lads, I might use the entire budget on just one signing this summer. Now, one thing I am concerned about is the squad size is well too big for my liking, so we have listed a whole host of first team players for transfer and loan, which should boost us some transfer funds and also prevent players from getting poor morale through not playing. Now, before we get into any incomings, we have had a whole host of outgoings that we need to get through, and trust me lads, we have definitely trimmed the squad down. Sis Sandra has joined Royal Union Saint Galois for 2.7 million euros. Michael Skolas has joined Besiktas for 4.25 million euros. Now, this is an interesting one. Antonio Nusa has joined Atalanta on loan for the season, but we are going to keep a keen eye on his development, and if he's doing well, we'll bring him straight back, because I'm really excited about the future of this guy. Bolton legend Dedrick Boyata has joined West Brom for 700,000. Faito Marusa has joined Galatasaray for 5.9 million euros. Lint Ador has joined NEC for 1.95 million. Kamal Sowa has joined Al Nassr for 6 million euros. Romeo Vermont has joined Young Boys for 2.2 million euros. And Roman Yaremenchuk has joined Salzburg for 2.65 million euros. So after all them sales, we're left with 67 million euros, and the signing I've got in mind is going to use up pretty much all of this budget, because we have identified Jurrien Timber of Arsenal. Is kind of out of sorts at the minute. He's 23-year-old, 81 rated, got incredibly well-rounded stats, and he's going to cost us between 54 and 43 million euros, meaning it's going to be a very expensive deal, but I'm definitely going to bring him to Club Brugge. And for 48 million euros, we have brought Jurrien Timber to Club Brugge, and this for me is a real statement signing. And after the signing of Timber, we're left with just 15 million euros. And to be honest, with 15 million euros, I don't actually think we're going to bring in a player who makes our first team better, so that could be us done for the summer. So we've arrived at deadline day, boys, and there's been no further incomings and no further outgoings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save this 15 million euros, see how we're getting on in January, and if we're really underperforming, I'll use this 15 million euros to bring in a new player. So boys, here's me simulating through the season, completely forgetting to show you our Champions League group. We got potentially one of the hardest possible groups we could have got, getting Real Madrid, Brugge and Napoli, but in the first game of the competition, we actually spanked Napoli 5-1 at home. So do you know what, lads? I'm a little bit encouraged that we could actually get through this group. If we can beat Napoli, we can beat anyone in that group. So let's now officially sim forward to January the 1st and see if we did get through that Champions League group. So we've arrived at January the 1st, boys, and it has to be said, I have never ever seen domination like this in a rebuild before. We're top of the Pro League on 57 points. We've played 21 games. We haven't lost a single game. We've won 18. We've only drawn 3. We've only conceded 15 goals in 21 games. Lads, we are absolutely smashing it in the Pro League. Now, don't get me wrong, I did expect us to dominate Belgian football, but not quite like this, boys. This is madness. Now, unfortunately, we could not carry our league form over to the Champions League where we finished 3rd. Only 1 point behind Napoli, to be fair. We give a really good account of ourselves, and we will be playing in the Europa League. And we will take on FC Copenhagen in the preliminary round of the Europa League. Do you know what, lads? I do actually think we can get through that round and maybe even challenge for the Europa League title. Now, we do have 14 million euros to spend, boys, and to be honest with you, I'm probably just going to save it for next season. We've been so good this season. I don't want to bring any new players in and disrupt the harmony of the squad, and also we're not bringing anyone in to improve the squad to 14 million. So as of right now, we're just simulating forward straight to the end of the season. So we have reached the end of season 2, lads, and just feast your eyes on this. In 30 games in the Pro League, we won 25 and drew just 5 games, scoring 77, only conceding 21 goals on 80 points, 16 points clear of Union Saint Gilloise. Lads, we are so overpowered, honestly. We're miles too good for this Belgian league. We went into the playoff rounds and we finally lost a game, winning 7 of our 10, drawing 2. and finally losing a game in the championship round. Winning back-to-back Pro Leagues, lads. We are smashing it in Belgium. But unfortunately, lads, we did actually lose in the Croquis Cup final to Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. They beat us 3-2 in what was a very, very tight game. So unfortunately, we do not do the domestic double this year, but 3 trophies in 2 seasons, I'll definitely take that. And we also didn't manage to win the Europa League, lads. Arsenal did go on to win it. They knocked us out in the semi-finals 4-2 over 2 legs. I think we've given a really, really good account of ourselves in Europe this season. And hopefully with the right additions, we can push on and challenge in the Champions League. This is how the team is looking at the end of the season. It has to be said. That is such a good team. Only one player in the starting 11 who's under 80 rated, and that is Spaliers. But he's 20 years old and 79 rated. This guy's got such a good future ahead of him. And I think going into next season, lads, it's really, really hard to think, where do we improve this squad? Because it's growing so fast. We're doing so well in the league and cups and Europe. I think we need to see how much we've got as our budget, then reassess then and think where do we want to invest the money. In terms of stats, once again, we did not struggle for goals, with Igor Thiago scoring 32 goals in 59 games across 3 competitions. Stein chipped in with 28 goals. Vanaken once again for midfield, 25 goals. The man is an absolute machine at 32 years of age. Skolvosen chipped in with 22 goals and Sulemana chipped in with 17. And after that, lads, not many goals from the rest of the squad, but it's clear to see that our forward players are ripping it up in Belgium. Now, the objective for next season is simple: improve our performance in the Champions League. I'm aiming for at least the quarterfinals. So we've arrived in season 3, lads, and we've got 59 million euros to improve our squad. Now, I know Vanaken has been absolutely amazing for us in this rebuild, but he has just reached 34 years of age, meaning he is going to start deteriorating this season. That's just how EAFC works. No matter how well the player is playing, once they reach a certain age, they start dropping in overalls. There's nothing you can do about it, as much as I hate it. So we are going to dip into the transfer market and bring in a central midfielder to replace Vanaken. However, we are going to extend his contract for a further 2 years, and he can be a rotation player for us in the meantime, as his service has been absolutely outstanding. Now, lads, you may recall me saying that I wanted to bring in someone younger than Vanaken, as he's 34, on the decline, and I wanted to replace him with like a younger model. Well, I have just seen that Kevin De Bruyne only has 12 months remaining on his contract at PSG. He's 89 rated, 34 years old. He's absolutely insane, and we can get him for between 64 and 51 million euros. Lads, I have got to bring him to Club Brugge, and it's used up all of our budget, but we have brought in Kevin De Bruyne from PSG for 52 million euros. We have brought De Bruyne back to his homeland, and what an amazing signing this is. And after the signing of KDB, we are left with 8 million euros, meaning our transfer window is finished, and that means this will be the team to take us into season 3. And look at the state of that Club Brugge team, lads. We have genuinely built one of the best teams in Europe in just 3 short seasons. And do you know what? We might only get 1 or 2 good seasons out of De Bruyne. He might drop by 5 overalls this season, but just by having him in the squad for this season should massively boost our chances of success in Europe. We always go for the wonder kids, so let's treat ourselves to an absolute Rolls Royce in De Bruyne for a few seasons. So we've reached the end of the transfer window, lads, and other than a few youth players, there's only been 1 notable outgoing. Casper Nielsen has joined KRC Genk for 4.8 million euros, and other than us bringing Kevin De Bruyne in, there's been no other business done in this transfer window, and all that's left to do is check our Champions League group. So our Champions League group is in, and once again we're struck with the group of death. We've got Bayern Munich, Inter Milan and Slavia Prague. We do have a very good squad on paper, boys, so I'm going to back our lads to get through this group, and we're going to simulate forward to January the 1st now and see if we've done just that. So we're at January the 1st, boys, and yeah, we're too good for Belgium. We're top of the league again, 21 games played, 18 wins, 3 draws, no losses, 57 points on the board, a whopping 13 points clear of Genk. It looks like the Pro League is once again coming back to Brugge. We did say one of the objectives for the rebuild was to make Club Brugge the most dominant side in Belgium again, and we've done just that, evidently. Now, it's the moment of truth, though, lads, and I weren't too sure about this Champions League group. Have we actually managed to qualify through that really difficult Champions League? And we actually have, lads. We finished in 2nd place above Inter Milan on 11 points, winning 3, drawing 2, only losing once. I'm actually really, really impressed with that. And so in the round of 16, we will take on AC Milan. And do you know what, lads? With the team we've got, I genuinely think we can win this tie. And a quick look to the team. Just look at the state of that team, boys. It is absolutely on another planet. I just think in 3 short seasons, we've done such good work in the transfer market. Look at how good that team is. I think this year might be a year too early, but next year we should be definitely challenging to get to the Champions League final. Now, we have only got £5 million in the transfer window, so there'll be no incomings and no outgoings. We're just going to plough straight on now to the end of the season, and hopefully we've reached at least the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and obviously we're going to retain our Pro League title, so so it's all about the Champions League this season. We've reached the end of season 3 and history has repeated itself. We have finished top of the Pro League, 30 games played, 25 wins, 5 draws, 0 losses in our first 30 games, finishing a whopping 21 points clear of Anderlecht. It's very, very clear to see that Belgian football is just far too easy for us. When we got to the championship round, we once again stormed it, finishing on 61 points, winning 6, drawing 3 and only losing 1 once again, playing my 3rd consecutive Belgian Pro League title. And after last year's disappointment in the Crocky Cup final, we did bounce back and beat Anderlecht 5-1 in the final to play my 2nd Crocky Cup of the rebuild. And I am sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I can't think of any other way that you pronounce it. And we didn't manage to reach the Champions League final. Napoli actually won it. They beat Juventus 2-1. We actually got to the semi-finals and we took a 2-0 lead into the second leg at home to Napoli, and they absolutely thumped us 5-0. Now, hopefully next season we can go on better and actually get to the Champions League final. So this is how the team is looking at the end of season 3, and it's just... So this is how the team is looking at the end of season 3, and it is so well-rounded and well-balanced. There's no player in the team under 83 rated, and Spilias, who is the lowest rated player in the team, is actually only 21 years old, so he has plenty more room to develop. I look at that team and just think, where can I improve it next season? Maybe I bring in a experienced centre-back to replace Spilias. I really don't know. What we'll do is we'll get to season 4, have a look at the transfer budget, and decide how we want to spend the money next season. Now, once again, Igor Thiago had a great season, getting 32 goals, being our top scorer for the season. Sem Steen was absolutely outstanding, getting 28 goals and 18 assists. Skov Olsen just does what Skov Olsen does, getting 21 goals and 6 assists. Surprisingly, lads, Kevin De Bruyne only played 46 games, so I'm assuming he must have got injured at some point. He got 15 goals and 4 assists, which isn't actually the best. A little bit underwhelming, but if you look to his Champions League stats, lads, that is where he really shined. 6 goals and 2 assists in 11 Champions League appearances, matching his return in the Pro League. So it's safe to say, on the big stage, De Bruyne did deliver. Though we managed to reach the semi-final of Champions League this season, why don't we go one better next season and get to the final? The main dilemma I have is, where do I actually improve this team? So we've arrived in season 4 and we've got 85 million euros to improve the squad. However, lads, we've got a lot of first team players out of contract at the end of the season, which could actually eat into our transfer budget. And I want to just point out, Antonio Nusa, who has been out on loan for the last 2 seasons, has come back to us at 84 rated. What a player this guy is. For a backup option to bring off the bench, he is absolutely amazing. And after sorting out all the contracts, we're left with 81 million euros, and I'm going to bring in the new centre-back with this money. So we have identified Juventus centre-back Bremer. He's 87 rated and 29-year-old with incredible defensive stats. He's only got 11 months left on his contract, meaning he's going to cost us between 68 and 55 million euros. So this is an absolute no-brainer. We're definitely bringing Bremer to Club Brugge. And for an absolute bargain price of 55 million euros, we have brought Bremer to Club Brugge. Now, after the signing of Bremer, we're left with 22 million euros. So as of right now, that's our transfer window finished. So our Champions League group is in, and we have got Juventus, Real Betis and Dynamo Kiev. Do you know what? That's probably the easiest group we've had so far. So I'm really banking on us getting through this group. Let's simulate forward now to January the 1st and see if we did manage to do that. So we've arrived at January the 1st, boys, and do you know what? We've not had it all our own way this season. Surprisingly, we are still top of the league, 2 points clear of Saint-Gilloise, but we've actually lost 3 of our first 21 games. That's the first time that has happened all rebuild. So that just says to me that the other teams in Belgium have massively improved their squads if they're competing with us, and Saint-Gilloise have only actually conceded 16 goals, so they are a major threat to our 3 title winning streak. And we did manage to top our Champions League group, finishing on 12 points. We didn't lose a single game. Juventus come through with us, and we will take on Real Madrid in the round of 16. If we can beat Real Madrid, lads, so we can beat anyone in this competition. So we've reached the end of season 4, and we did manage to retain our Belgian Pro League title, finishing the actual league season on 69 points, 14 points clear of Genk. Then we went to the Championship round and won 8 of our 10 games, finishing on 60 points, 15 points clear of Genk, meaning we have won our 4th successive Belgian Pro League. And we have made it a domestic double, winning the Crocky Cup, once again beating Louvain in the final 3-2. Absolutely no surprises there, boys, of how good our squad is. Now, unfortunately, we did not make the Champions League final, and it will be an all-German final between Dortmund and Leverkusen. We were knocked out in the semi-finals by Leverkusen. That's 2 years in a row now we've been knocked out in the semi-finals. We really need to be going one better next season. Now, that squad on paper is stupidly good. We've now got Skov Olsen, Timber and Stein all over 90 rated, with Skov Olsen and Stein being 91. Maya is now 89 rated and should hopefully reach 90 next season. Sulmana is 88 and should also reach 90 next season. The squad just looks so good on paper. There's no player lower than 86 rated. Obviously, though, going into next season, we've not renewed Kevin De Bruyne's contract, and he will be leaving the club, so we're in the market for a new central midfielder. Now, looking at the stats, the goals were very much back this season, with Sem Stein getting 37 goals and 18 assists, from the centre attacking midfield position, growing to 91 rated in the process. Igor Thiago scored 30 goals in 55 games, and Skov Olsen got 39 goal involvements in 52 games. That is a very good return. Then after that, lads, not many goal involvements from the rest of the squad, so I would like to add more goals from the centre midfield, so that could be an attribute we look for in the midfielder we do bring in next season. So heading into season 5, the objective is one thing only: get to the Champions League final. So we've arrived in season 5, boys, and we've got 113 million euros to improve our squad, and we have identified Newcastle United star Bruno Guimaraes. Is 87 rated, 29-year-old, very well rounded, and he's going to cost us between 77 and 62 million euros as he's out of contract next season. And for 70 million euros, we have brought Bruno Guimaraes to Club Brugge. So after the signing of Bruno Guimaraes, we are left with 26 million euros. And in all honesty, looking at the squad, lads, bringing a player in for 26 million euros who actually gets into that team is absolutely impossible. So that's probably our transfer window done. We're also not looking to sell anyone in this window either. So we've reached the end of the transfer window, lads. There's been no more incomings and no more outgoings. Our Champions League group is in, and we've got Chelsea, Roma and PSV. It's a very, very interesting group. I do think though, lads, we should be comfortably top in this group. We're now simulating forward to January the 1st to see if we did just that. So we've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and once again we're just walking the A-League. We're top of the division on 52 points, 11 points clear of second place Antwerp, only conceding 16 goals in the process while scoring 51. Honestly, our performance in the Pro League in this rebuild has just been astounding. Now, we did finish second in our Champions League group on 12 points, level with Roma, meaning Chelsea and PSV went out, and we will take on Inter Milan in the round of 16, which is a very difficult fixture. So we're not looking to do any business at all in this transfer window. No incomings and no outgoings. We're just simulating straight through to the end of the season, and hopefully we're in the Champions League final. So we've arrived at the end of season 5, and once again we've won the Pro League. Did you expect anything else? 15 points clear at the end of the original season, into the playoff round, and we went completely unbeaten, finishing on 66 points, a whopping 25 points clear against. Genuinely, we have built an absolute monster of a team here at Club Brugge, and we also won the Croaky Cup once again, beating Genk 3-0 in the final. We had a really difficult run. We had Antwerp, Anderlecht and Royal Union Saint-Gilloise, so it's not been an easy run to the final, and we've won every single game, and that is 2 trophies out of 2 for season 5. And boys, we are in the Champions League final, and we are taking on Borussia Dortmund, and with the squad we've got right now, it would have been a massive disappointment if we didn't get to the final. We breezed past Inter Milan 6-3 over 2 legs, set up a tie with Arsenal, who we narrowly beat 4-3, looked like a very entertaining tie, and then we beat Bayern Munich 4-2 to take on Borussia Dortmund in the final. So this is the Club Brugge team that has got us to a Champions League final. I have to say, just look at it, lads. There is not a single player in that starting 11 who is below 88 rated. This easily could be the best team we've built on a rebuild so far. And even if we look to the bench, we've got some really good options like Nusa, Veltersen and Spielers. So this squad on a whole is probably the best we've ever had at the end of a rebuild. Now, looking at the stats of the squad, Sem Steen, what a signing. 93 rated, 38 goals, 15 assists. That is an absolute joke return. So all that's left to do is play the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund at the Veltins Arena, and this should be a cracker. So here we go, boys. It is Club Brugge versus Borussia Dortmund for the Champions League trophy. Let's get the job done. Now, we are definitely going to miss the defensive prowess of Odienka in midfield, but Vetlesen's a decent player. Definitely can fill a void. I think he's a bit more of an all-rounder midfielder than Odienka. Skov Olsen, no chances just yet, and we give the ball away. That's a great ball up to Guela. They've got a brilliant squad here, Borussia Dortmund, you know. Oh, no. Oh, my God, he's wasted that. Wow. Nice little turn by Vetlesen, to be fair. That is a complete waste by Stein. We can't get that final ball going. 25 minutes in, really boring half, lads. I can't lie, we're both cancelling each other out. Igor Thiago, Sulmana at the run. Up to Skov Olsen. Across to Sulmana. Oh, it's a tame effort. Literally no power on the shot at all, and Cobell just gathers it up. Stein, great ball. Sulmana, got to make it 1-0. Oh, what a finish by Sulmana. That is such a good goal. All about the weighted pass from Stein. Sets up Sulmana, who just curls it into the corner, and it's 1-0 to Club Brugge. In the first real clear-cut chance of the game on 35 minutes, it's a lovely finish from Sulmana right into the top corner, and we are winning this final 1-0. Nope. Wow, that's a good save. Surprised he went for a shot though and not a pass, but I'll take it. Right at the goalkeeper. Easy save in the end. Can we try and get back? That's not them score. Fat it or not. Oh dear. And he's missed. Oh, what? They've got a penalty. What for? Let's have a look. Timber. Oh, come on. Come on. I don't even Oh, wow. Ansu Fati somehow has a chance to make it 1-1, and he puts it down the middle, and Dortmund are back on level terms. An off-the-ball incident involving Timber has given Dortmund a lifeline in this final, and we've got it all to do yet again, boys. In a game of so few chances, that could be a really significant moment. Right, let's get back on track. We had a good little spell of possession in the first half, and don't really want momentum to swing over their way too much. Oh, no. What a tackle. What a tackle by Bremer. That could have been bad. Ran it. Sulmana, what a ball. Finish it. What a save by Cabell. Really good pace by Sulmana. What a turn of pace that is. Thiago, finish it. There you go, Thiago. It's 2-1 to Club Brugge, and that is all from Sulmana's amazing work on the wing. Really good pullback from Sulmana. Penalty spot into the top corner. Thiago's not missing from there, and we are back in front in this final. Stein. Scott Olsen's in there. What a ball. Oh, what a goal. Oh, no. It's good in there. Semi Stein makes it 3-1 to Club Brugge. And it would have been a catastrophe if that through ball did not lead to a goal. What a pass that were through to Scott Olsen. Pulls it back to Thiago. It's really well blocked by Saliba. But Stein from the edge of the area puts it into the bottom corner. 3-1 to Club Brugge. We have well and truly took over in this final. Oh, Fati's done me though. He's been really good in this final. He might have to reuse Fati again at some point. Oh, good save. Wow, how quick did that happen? Brilliant dribbling to get past Arojo. Can we get one more to add a bit of gloss to the scoreline? Go on. Go on. No, we're not going to get it, but it doesn't matter, lads, because we have won the Champions League with Club Brugge. We beat Dortmund 3-1 in the final, and Club Brugge are the champions of Europe. And I have to admit, boys, that Club Brugge team is easily the best team I've ever used in FC24 so far. So well-rounded, every player absolutely quality, and we've come out deserved winners in a 3-1 win against Dortmund. All that's left to do now is watch club captain Julian Timber lift the Champions League trophy for Club Brugge, and Club Brugge are the champions of Europe, and that is another rebuild successfully boxed off. Just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that would massively help me out. We are very close now to 2,000 subscribers, and I will see you on Friday for the next rebuild. Cheers.